Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Giant Conversation that is Topic Talks. I'm your host, Aaron Klingsmith, and joining me once again is Mark.
Hello, everybody.
So, we've got a lot to talk about. I'm going to just kind of cover a little bit of what we're going to talk about, a little bit of an overview. So, Bass Pro has some awesome news and something I think is pretty cool, and I want to share with you guys. Also,
Yes.
there's a girl that got a little more than she thought she did when she ordered breadsticks from Domino's Pizza. Stay tuned for that. We're going to talk a little bit about an iPhone 7 headphone jack case. So that's kind of funny. Mark's going to go a little bit that's part of his multiverse. We've also got a space something from Mark.
Yes,
And
a space
then
something.
we're going to end it off with Movie Madness Monday. Now, you Harry Potter fans better listen up because we do have some Harry Potter news that you're going to want to hear. Also, Halloween Town fans, you're going to want to stick around too. So,
Yes.
why don't we kick it off with our new Bass Pro news?
Mr. Bass Pro Shop over here.
So Bass Pro Shops is one of my favorite stores, and
Plus, you work there.
I work there. Anyway, so it is one of my favorite stores, but there's something that is really cool. So the CEO, Johnny Morris, made an announcement. I think it was today that Bass Pro Shops is buying out Cabela's. Now, I kind of heard a hint of this at some point, and I wasn't sure if it was true. I heard it around from not not even people at my work, just heard it around. I'm like, that would be a big deal. Like, we would hear more if that was in the works. Well,
Right.
we didn't, but I guess Johnny Morris made it official today that he made an announcement. And actually, he said something cool. He said, today's announcement marks an exceptional opportunity to bring together three special companies with the abiding love for the outdoors and the passion for serving sportsmen and sportsmen and sportswomen. The story of each of these three companies could only have happened in America, made possible by our uniquely American free enterprise system. We have an enormous admiration for Cabela's and its founders and outfitters, and its loyal base of customers. We look forward to continuing and celebrate and growing the Cabela's brand alongside Bass Pro Shops and White River as one unified outdoor family, which I think is pretty cool because it's funny that Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's, they're two major competitors.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what exactly is the difference between Cabela's and Bass Pro Shop besides the company and
Okay,
company
if
name?
you go into Cabela's, they have only Cabela's products. They have like an upstairs where they've got some non-Cabela stuff, but 90% of the stuff that they sell at the store, or at least that's what I saw when I went there, is Cabela's brand. Okay?
Right.
Bass Pro Shops sells Bass Pro Shops has multiple brands.
Mm-hmm.
White River I thought was already one of them, but now it is officially one. We also have our own Redhead brand. There's a lot of different brands under which falls under Bass Pro Shops. So they sell many brands, and then some aren't even their brands. They'll sell other brands if they don't. So they're kind of a little bit of everything. And actually, how Bass Pro started was the founder and owner, Johnny Morris. Um, from what I remember, his dad had a market or something, and he went to the store and picked out his favorite like tackle,
Mm-hmm.
and he would sell it at his dad's store, and it just grew and grew and grew and grew and grew, and he handpicked what was sold.
Wow, that's really cool.
Yeah.
It's
So,
almost kind of like, hey, this is my favorites collection. Come see what you like.
right, and that's what it was, and it just kind of grew from there. Now, Cabela's, I'm pretty sure, is a Michigan brand. I know it's huge. I know their first and biggest store is in Dundee, Michigan. Um, but then they've got a store that they moved, but I don't think there's any out of the state. Now, Bass Pro was founded in a different state. There's only one Bass Pro Shops in Michigan, but they're in a couple other states.
Right.
So this is
I'll be right
big.
back.
Yeah, go for it. But this is kind of cool because Bass Pro is just, I don't know. I don't know how two major competitors like that could even, well, okay. I think it's cool that they can combine and it's still not considered a monopoly, which I think is sweet. And the reason for that would be, I guess, is because they've got um, things like Dick's and other things like that that would also, or that are still kind of competitors, but not nearly as big as Cabela's was. So there is that. Um, it was also said that he has all of the customer loyalty programs will still remain in place. So for the outdoor rewards programs, those are still going to be in place, and then whatever rewards program Cabela's has, they're going to probably remain separate, which means the credit cards and all that are going to. I think what they're doing is they're buying out the brand, so now they might, but they're going to keep them two separate, almost like two separate companies.
Right, right. Like a restaurant company would have like two different restaurants.
Right. So what they're gonna do is you might find some Cabela stuff in a Bass Pro Shops, but you're still gonna, I'm thinking that they're gonna run Cabela's just the same way as it has been. It's just on paper has a different owner.
Right, right. Because I'm sure like just like every company, there's gonna be people who have favorites. I mean, it's like even if they're the same company, you're still gonna have your people who prefer Bass Pro Shop as opposed to your people who are gonna prefer Cabela's.
And Cabela's is an awesome place. If you ever get a chance to go to the Cabela's in Dundee, I would highly recommend it.
Yeah, I've never been to Cabela's.
They have a mountain in the middle of the store.
A mountain.
A mountain.
That's crazy. Like, I mean, like, is it like a literal mountain that they built the store around kind of deal? Or
No, it's like a mountain that they built inside the store.
Kind of like how Bass Pro Shop has like their own like lake and river kind of stuff.
Yep, they've got their own aquarium, they've got a plane, but this is a mountain. Now, the cool thing about Cabela's, okay, it was a family-owned company.
Right.
It was owned by the Cabela's. And so as you walk around the store, do you know what a mount is?
A mount?
Yes.
I know there's a couple different definitions, I guess, for it. What kind of mount are you talking about?
Deer mounts and things like that.
Oh yeah, like hanging on the wall.
Yes. Well, what they did is the Cabela's families were huge hunters, obviously.
Obviously.
Well, all the mounts that they've ever caught are in the store. So what they do is they have mannequins. So there's like a whole bunch of deer and goats and all that, and the mounts, the horns that they have, they got put on these. Actually, they might have been. I'm not sure exactly, but they could be the actual animal, the skin and all that. And they could have just had them or sent them to a taxidermist, and had it done that way. But anyway, so a lot of things that the Cabela's family has shot, is in the store.
Well,
so there's elephants. There's
elephants.
Yep, there's an elephant. But there's all these different things. But the cool part about it is, it tells you what year they went hunting and they got this animal.
So they have like dates on each mount.
Well, there's actually a story. There's a little plaque because some of the bigger ones are in their own little habitat, and like the mountain goat or like the billy goats and all that are up on the mountain. But they've got deer and so like around the store there's little habitats.
Really?
So like everything that they've hunted are they fit in one of those little habitats, and so there's like an elephant in his own little habitat, and then there's a story, and they got a little story about how what family member got this animal, and so anyway, I thought this was a cool story. It was something that I've been kind of waiting to hear if it was actually true or not for a while.
Now, where would you say our nearest Cabela's is around here?
Well, I know there's one in Dundee, but they just opened one up somewhere. It's not nearly as big as the one in Dundee. Dundee is the biggest one in the chain. It's
like
the main
in Michigan
store.
Or like entire like all of Cabela's?
All of Cabela's. I think Cabela's is only in Michigan.
Oh, so it's like their main center of operations.
I'm pretty sure. I'm like 90%. It's their biggest store.
Well, there you go.
So anyway, but no, I would say No, I think there might be one in. I don't know. There's one close, that they just built, and I don't know. So you've never been to Cabela's?
I've never been to Cabela's. I've been to Bass Pro Shop multiple times, And I always find it interesting going there. I like checking out how they got the big fish tank, and I like how they got like the plane hanging from the ceiling and the um, what else? All of it really. I like how they got their own little fish pond. I really like that. That's cool.
They used to have ducks
They
in
used
the
to have,
fish pond.
they used to have ducks.
They got rid of the ducks.
Why'd they get rid of the ducks?
Because every morning they would have to, and this was before I started working there, but every morning they would have to take the duck, like the ducks would get out during the night,
Yeah.
and they would poop on everything. So in the morning they would have to come in, clean up all the duck poop, and chase them around and put them back in their little habitat.
So literally, they would have to babysit the ducks all day.
My bad, I was wrong. Cabela's is not only in Michigan. It is in Arizona, Georgia, Kansas, Nevada, South Carolina, Washington, Arkansas, Idaho, Kentucky, South Dakota. It's actually pretty widespread, a lot further than I thought it was. There's one in Saginaw. There's one in Saginaw, there's one in Dundee, and then there's one in Granville. That's kind of cool. I didn't know that there was.
Yeah, that's I'm gonna have to check that out.
The nearest one is Saginaw.
Saginaw. Well, next time I'm out by Saginaw, I'm gonna have to take a look at that.
It won't nearly be as big as Dundee. If you're gonna go and visit one, you and I should take a trip and we'll go to Dundee, Michigan.
How far is that from here?
I'm not sure. I think it's an hour, 2 hours tops.
Hour, 2 hours. Okay. Well, yeah. If I'm ever talking about going out that direction, I'll be sure to let you know, and you can come and we'll go check it out together.
It's definitely a day trip to get through the entire store.
Really?
Yeah, it's huge. It was actually kind of funny. The first time I went was with my brother-in-law, my mom, and my stepdad. We were in Kalamazoo for my stepsister's wedding. I think it was Kalamazoo or somewhere in between here and Kalamazoo.
Mhm.
And us all being rednecks, we were sitting there one day at the hotel, the wedding, we were done with there was nothing going on that day. So my brother-in-law said, "Come on, we're going to Cabela's." So and it started off my brother-in-law, my stepdad, and I. Then my mom found out, so she hopped on. My stepsister found out, so she came. So like we're all trying to, so we all hopped in the car and drove. I think it was like an hour from there or something. We drove to Cabela's and we spent almost the entire day in that store. It was really, it is really something.
Yeah, it sounds like it. I've heard some cool things about Cabela's. I'm definitely gonna want to go check that out sometime.
Yeah, it's one of the coolest things.
Man, those dogs are talkative today. Hang on.
It's okay.
I'm gonna go put them in their pen.
It's okay. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the one in Michigan is the biggest store. Nope. The largest Cabela's store is...
Never mind. April's home. She's got it.
That's good.
Okay, now I'm good and I'm staying. So yeah, so let's see.
It isn't the largest one. The largest Cabela's is in Hammerburg, PA. What's PA?
PA. That's wow, man. I want to say it's Pennsylvania, but I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. So it's a drive. It's a long race. Either way, you know what? I'm gonna have to put this on my bucket list.
The one in Dundee is huge.
I'm gonna have to put this on my bucket list.
Yes.
Do you fish? Of course you fish.
Is that even a question?
I knew you like hunt and stuff like that, but I wasn't sure if you fish.
I actually fish more than I hunt. I'm just now getting into hunting. I've been fishing my entire life.
Well, I like fishing, except that
You don't like to touch the fish. You're a woman about it, I know.
No, I don't have anyone to go fishing with. I don't have the equipment, but I used to, but that was back when I was like 14.
Well, my friend.
We should go up to Cabela's and then we'll go on a fishing trip one weekend or something.
Why don't we go to Bass Pro? It'll be cheaper. Because Cabela's brand stuff, as good as it is very expensive.
Well, I was using fishing as a excuse to go out to Cabela's, but okay.
You don't need an excuse to go out to Cabela's. Just go.
Just go. Okay, well maybe we will sometime.
Anyway, we can
That's
still go fishing though.
yeah. All right, sounds good. But either way,
So
that's cool to hear though that that Cabela's and Bass Pro are merging.
yeah, it is really cool. I think it's a great opportunity for both companies. Because like I said, I think the plan is to keep them running as they are,
Mhm.
and maybe cross over, Cabela's brand into Bass Pro Shops. But other than that, I think Cabela's is gonna run pretty much like it is now. They may make a few changes, but I'm hoping they're gonna be for the better.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's bound to be new changes when a big company takes over another big
Yep.
company.
Yep.
But so we'll see where that goes.
Okay, so we're gonna move on a little bit. So this next story,
It's fishy as hell.
it's not fishy.
I think it's fishy.
It's not fishy. Okay, you guys get your own opinion. So what it is this girl, she got more than just breadsticks with her Domino's.
That's so cheesy.
So she ordered. It's Selena Avalos. She's a Spectel wireless manager in San Jose, California. She ordered breadsticks from Domino's, and she didn't get breadsticks. She got almost $5,000 cash.
$5,000.
$5,000 cash.
That's a lot.
And Mark thinks it's fishy because it was because it was in a box. That box was designated to go to the bank. Now my argument is, especially with $5,000, some people the store may have a policy, or that might be the way that they do it, is they'll put it in a pizza box, so then that way it looks like they're making a delivery. Because if you walk out with a money bag, you're more likely to be robbed than if you're walking out with a pizza box out of a pizza joint.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think it depends on the area, but I mean, I
You don't know
know
what kind of area this was in?
No, I don't know what kind of area that's in, but like.
Anyway, so the girl's reaction, she says, I was like, I can't keep it. It's a crazy amount of money. It's not like $20 that you find, it's almost $5,000. And that was exactly what she said. So I think that was pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty noble to return that.
Yeah, no, there are a lot of people that would have just kept it. They probably could have tracked it, but anyway, but because she returned the money, they are giving her free pizza for a year. Now, it is not specified whether Domino's has set any restrictions, so we don't know if it's just pizza. We don't know if she can only get so many toppings. We don't know if she's entitled to anything else on the menu, because after all, she didn't even order a pizza. She ordered just breadsticks.
Right.
So, I mean, this is crazy.
Yeah, it definitely is really crazy. I mean, that's first of all, you gotta be pretty noble to return that much money.
Well, and this is kind of cool. Domino's is pretty cool about it, and Mark's like, a year, that's it? And then he did the math, and he's like, okay, yeah, that's.
At about $12 a pizza, it adds up to just shy of $4,500.
So if she can get about a $12 order or more
every day
for free,
and
it would equal up to about $5,000.
Almost. I mean,
almost.
I'm sure. I mean, maybe like I don't know.
Well, and it was said that it wasn't $5,000. It was almost $5,000.
Almost.
So
yeah.
it may have been $4 and some change. Well, that's not changed.
Well, even
$4 and a couple hundred.
And that math is just assuming that the pizzas are $12, that's kind of a lot unless it's a large. But I mean, I don't know.
See, but if they haven't set any restrictions,
here.
What if she could get like 3 in one day?
Like they said, yeah. I mean, it's.
This girl could open up a food truck and make some bank.
Yeah. You know what?
I mean,
I didn't even think about that. I guess
was gonna say our food truck at school. If they don't put any restrictions on that, she could get about, even two pizzas a day, 5 pizzas a day, whatever. But
you also have to get a license to distribute food like that, though, too.
Yes.
So I mean, if she got the license for it, then yeah, she could make some serious bank off that.
Yeah, and the only expense she would have is the license.
That'd be a great little year-long business. But, you'd be making some.
No, anyway,
the
food
money.
the lady that runs the food truck that we go to charges. It's like
It's like $1.50 a slice.
I was gonna say I usually end up paying like $4.50.
I think
in cash, and that's for 2 slices of pizza deep dish, and 1 Coke.
I got two. I just got the 2 slices today, and I'm pretty sure it's $3.
Okay.
So I'm pretty sure it's $1.50 a slice. But yeah, I mean, even then, I mean, $1.50 a slice. Say you got 2 free pizzas a day. That's say each pizza is what? Uh, a large pizza is how many? How a large square is like what? 24 slices or something like that.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
So 24 slices times that by a dollar. Well, you're making at least $30 a pizza about. So $30 per pizza, selling 2 pizzas.
And that's free. You get the pizza for free.
That's
So you're pocketing $30. The only thing you would have to look out for
that's
is,
per pizza. If you do 2 pizzas, that's 60.
so it's 60 per day. I mean, come on. Anyway, that's probably not what she's going to do. She's probably going to order pizza. She's probably not going to order it every day. She's probably just going to order it every once in a while.
I would feel really bad if she ordered it every day. That wouldn't. The pizza every day is not.
I would order it every day and I would sell it. I would order it every day and I would.
I'd probably be throwing a lot of parties.
Or I would order it for friends.
I would, yeah, true, yeah. I'd be like, yo, anybody who wants a pizza at any point, hit me up. I'll hook you up.
Right.
But like, really, I'd be throwing parties all the time with that.
Yeah, no, but I don't know. I thought this was a cool story because I don't know if you were here the last time because we reported on a story. I think it was when Zach was still around. We reported on a story
where the guy found like $77,000
in his taxi.
In a taxi duffel bag. Yeah,
yes.
That one.
Yes, and the owner gave him 100.
I'm sorry, man. That would have been a payday for me. Like, I'm sorry, but if somebody left that duffel bag in my car, I would quit my job and leave town.
Well, what about the $5,000 in your?
The 5,000. I don't know.
Because what was it before? Was it? It was less than 5,000, wasn't it, in that duffel bag?
What, in the duffel bag with the taxi driver?
Yes.
It was like an entire year's salary, dude.
Oh, okay.
It was like $70,000 to $80,000. No, it was like somewhere between $70,000 and $90,000.
Okay.
It was like a full year's salary. I'd be quitting my job and leaving town with that.
For a year.
I don't know. We'll see. It'd be okay, I gotta move out sometime.
Anyway, so while Mark is stealing people's money that doesn't belong to him over here.
Hey, you know what? If it was $5,000, I'd be more likely to return it. I mean, free pizza for a year. That's, first of all, they actually took care of the person who had the heart to bring back the money.
I was gonna say that's something that I think we talked about this the last time, but that's something that you need to take into account. So if you ever lose money and somebody finds it, cut them a decent share because, I mean,
they didn't have to return it.
Right. You know how many people would have found that and could have just took it? You would have never saw it again. I mean, especially that, because what was found in the taxi was an inheritance. This guy had just gotten his inheritance, and
which, in my opinion, was also fishy.
Well, it was in cash. It was somebody who didn't like banks, which there are a lot of older people that don't like banks.
Yeah, that's true.
They don't trust the bank, so it was probably a life savings that they found or that was left in and was stored somewhere in the house.
Probably.
Or in a safety deposit box somewhere. And so he was trying to figure out what to do with all the cash, whether he should put it in the bank first or whether he should keep it. Now, cash, if he doesn't put it in the bank, it's not taxed. I'm not sure if inheritance is taxed or not. But I think it depends on how
I'm pretty sure all that kind of stuff, it really depends on the situation.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, it really depends. But you know what, too, if you're like doing that with money, like holding it as cash, and I think if the government finds out, I think you can actually get in trouble for that.
Yes, you can.
It's like, what is that, like tax evasion or something?
It's just like if you run a food truck and you don't pay taxes on.
Exactly. So I mean, there certainly regulations and all that stuff for us because our government is greedy and money hungry and all that.
Tell us how you really feel, Mark.
I don't want to get into politics, but I definitely believe that our government is very, very, very corrupt and selfish. But
okay,
I'm not going to get into that today.
Well, that's a great segue into our next topic, which is Mark's Multiverse. Mark, take it away.
What does that have to do with our government? I talk about space.
Nothing. It's just you talking about
Me
something.
talking.
Yep,
Me talking.
pretty
Yep.
much.
Yep. Okay. I get it. I get it. So, you guys might remember, was it last week or the week before we were talking about the iPhone 7? I think it was the week before.
I don't know. It was I think it was last week.
I don't know, but I was talking about how the iPhone 7 being released doesn't have a headphone jack.
That is the stupidest thing ever. Why?
Mm-hmm. And the earbuds that you're going to lose after a week.
No, okay. So the earbuds, what it is, because my girlfriend got an iPhone 7 since we talked about it.
She got the phone without the...
She got the phone without the headphone jack. Now, I found it hilarious. But anyway, so how it comes is you get a phone. You got your phone. And it has no headphone jack. You get an adapter with it to plug into your headphone jack.
Oh,
that turns it into a...
Did she get that?
Yeah.
Okay, that's literally what my story's on.
It came with her phone.
Oh, it came with it?
Yeah.
Okay, good. What's it called? Is it by that company Use or whatever?
No, it's just an adapter. It's not a case or anything. It's just an adapter. So it's like a it's got the cord that plugs into her phone on one end and then a audio jack on the other.
Okay, good. At least they're giving the people the option to use a headphone jack.
There's that, and then they have actual headphones that have the Apple charging end on it that you can just plug it right into the phone without the... Now, the funny part about
another company-specific device.
Right.
Thanks, Apple.
Anyway, so I found it hilarious. My girlfriend's like, it's not funny. It was an expensive phone. But she plugged her adapter in, and it sounded weird.
I bet it did.
It was like there was something wrong with that adapter, which is hilarious to me because I think there was no reason, and it was uncalled for Apple to... Nobody asked you to take the HDMI. No one asked you to take the audio port out of the phones. Why?
Like who? Yeah, like who would even be like, hey, you guys should take out the headphone jack. It'd be cool.
If you look at half of my equipment on this table, I have 2 tablets that I use for sound, playing stuff back. I couldn't do that if I didn't have an audio jack. And then if I had to buy a special adapter just to do so, I mean, right now all I do is buy audio cords and I can plug them from my board right into my tablet, phone, whatever.
Exactly.
And it's kind of like, why?
Yeah, why take that away?
But here's one of my problems with Apple is because they haven't come out with a decent idea in years.
Ever since Steve Jobs.
Well, and then they go and recently their thing is to do stuff that nobody asked them to do. They fix problems that aren't broken.
Exactly. Thank you.
And now you do have those stubborn, I'm going to call them Apple heads. Apple heads. That will argue, they'll be like, well, headphones are going in a Bluetooth direction. Who cares?
Yeah.
It's not just used for headphones. It's used for stereos. It's used for radio, like car radios, computers. Like, you can use a headphone jack for a lot of stuff.
Yeah, you really can.
I mean, my stereo, I don't have too many Bluetooth stereos. My car has one of those very old-fashioned things where it's a tape on one side. You put it in, and it's got an audio port, like a cord that comes out of it. And that's what plugs into my phone.
Oh, you have one of those old-fashioned cassette headphone jacks.
Yes.
I always thought those were cool.
It's got like a cord that comes out of it, and it plugs into my phone. And you turn it on to the tape mode, and that's how you play your music. And it works awesome.
That's cool.
And in my garage, I've got a radio which didn't have any form of audio auxiliary port because it's an old cheap radio. So what I did is I went and I bought an AM/FM adapter. Again, headphone jack. So I plug that in, and I can listen to music in my garage. Down here, I have audio cords everywhere, running for every different direction, for several different reasons. So, and again, audio jack. Apple, why do you insist on taking... I think
why would you take away something that literally presents the functionality of half our devices?
I think they're panicking and thinking that their fans are gonna realize that they don't have any good ideas, or they don't have any ideas. Because I can take every Apple commercial recently, cut the audio off of it, put a new voiceover, and because there was one that was literally talking about how to zoom a phone. Literally, that's what it was. It's all new feature on an Apple phone. Zoom. It's been out for several years, but we think it's a brand new thing. Just came out for Apple. Like, it's like, why? I mean, you
It's
think
Apple for you.
I mean, they haven't come out with anything new in forever. And for those of you that like Apple, I'm not going to apologize because I'm not an Apple fan.
I have some
Android-
Apple devices.
Samsung
like-
is years ahead of anything Apple would ever dream of. And that's because they don't specialize in just phones. They specialize in, they have refrigerators,
Samsung?
washing machines. Yeah.
Oh, Samsung's got so much.
TVs.
Oh my god, I love Samsung. I got my new TV, the 60-inch that you haven't seen, and the soundbar that goes with it. Oh my god, it's like a home theater system, and it's Samsung. Like literally, it was
But
a matching soundbar with the TV.
Okay, now you think about it that way, okay? So you've got sound equipment and TV. So right there, they're working on graphics and sound.
Right.
All that's going to filter down into their phones. That's why their sound. That's why the sound is so good on their phones.
Mm-hmm.
The screens are really good. It's because they work on TVs. They work on washers, dryers. So they do a lot with displays, sound, you name it. I mean, I don't even know everything that Samsung sells.
It's a lot like Yamaha too. It's like you got Yamaha. They got like dirt bikes. I think they even. No, they don't do cars. That's Suzuki. But Yamaha, they also do stuff like musical equipment, and a handful of other stuff. Yamaha does all kinds of stuff, and Samsung is really versatile like that as well. So it's really great. I mean, and I'm happy that Samsung's doing that. Meanwhile, Apple, yeah, they got a lot of different products and all that stuff, but they insist on being innovative. And they're taking innovation in a direction that they don't really need to. So, basically, back to the story. When Apple revealed that the new iPhone 7 would not be sporting the headphone jack, there was a massive uproar online from Apple's user base. Duh. I could have told you that was going to happen.
Me too, because who asked you to remove the headphone jack?
Nobody. What imbecile is like, yo, Apple, you should take away the headphone jack. It'll be great.
Nobody, ever.
And if they did, I'm sorry, but that person just... Oh... No.
No.
But anyways, now an Austin, Texas based group has started a campaign for the iPhone 7 case that brings back the headphone jack. You said April has one of those, right? It came with the phone?
She does. It's just an adapter. So
you see, here's what I'm talking about. This thing is called the Foos case. It's a direct result of this, and it has now raised more than $21,000 on the crowdfunding site. With about a month left of their campaign, Foos founders say that they plan to ship the cases in December if they reach their $60,000 goal. The case includes a backup battery and has a sleek design that doesn't look that different from the others on the market. Its big appeal is that it takes the adapter dongle included in the Apple's latest phones. Dongles, I still can't get over that word. And embeds it right into the case.
Nobody can.
Allowing users to plug their old headphones in just like they used to. The current price of this case is going to be, or to reserve one, is going to be $59. Which, I mean, shit. You shouldn't have to pay $60 for the functionality that the phone should already have. But either way, somebody should be doing this anyways, because obviously there's people who, are iPhone diehards, and they're gonna keep going with the iPhone even if they do stupid stuff like taking away that headphone jack and replacing with dongles. Dongles. So it's really, this is a solution to a problem that was presented by fixing a problem that didn't exist and didn't need to be fixed. Is what it is.
Yep.
But so I mean, it's we'll see how it goes. I mean, they're releasing these cases in December, and the iPhone 7's already out. You said April's got one, right?
Yes,
and it comes with the adapter that lets you, which begs the question. I guess they didn't really. What did they start off like doing this adapter when they first released it, or is it something that they added onto it?
I don't know. All I know is when she got it, and it was shortly after we talked about it. When she got it, it had that adapter with it. So
It did? Okay, well, I have a feeling that they didn't originally start it off with that because otherwise there would be no need for them to make this headphone jack case. This is obviously Apple's response to the quote unquote problem that they fixed that people didn't like the solution and with obvious reasons that anybody with any kind of technological intuition can perceive. So, I guess that's just how the cookie crumbles with it. I'm really hoping that with the iPhone 8, whenever they decide to release that, I'm really hoping when they do that, they're just gonna implement the headphone jack right into the phone, like they should. I mean, I think the original reason they took it away. What was the original reason they took it away, Aaron?
I don't know.
Was it to make it waterproof or water resistant?
No, it was just to
Just to do it.
yeah.
Just to do it.
Yeah.
Just to do it, folks. So I guess that's the case with that. Literally the case. It's a headphone jack case. It's funny. Anyways, so moving on away from that pile of Duke that is Apple products. SpaceX CEO Elon Musk turns to science fiction for a Mars ship. Now, this is something I can get into, obviously. SpaceX plans to establish a city on Mars. Sounds like science fiction. Then consider the name of its first passenger ship. They say the answer lies in The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, the comic series about the travels of Earth's last surviving man. Musk is leaning towards the name Heart of Gold, also named after the starship in the novel, with infinite improbability drive. Musk says he likes the name because of the fact that the comic ship is driven by infinite improbability, and in presenting his long-awaited Mars colonization plan this week, he said it's because he thinks their ship is also extremely improbable. How about that? But the name generated applause at the International Astronautical Congress in Mexico, where Musk provided elaborate details of his bold plans to fly scores of humans to Mars and set up a self-sustaining city with 1 million people as big as San Jose, California. For the past decade, Musk has borrowed from science fiction and fantasy when naming his rockets, engines, capsules, and other space doodads. Musk has already plumbed Star Wars for names, as well as work by the late Scottish science fiction writer Ian M. Banks. SpaceX's Falcon rocket is actually a nod to the Millennium Falcon piloted by Han Solo. My bad, Sorry, I was just reading it too fast.
How'd you butcher that? It's Han.
I was reading it
Han.
fast. You know what? I don't need this,
Solo.
okay? Han Solo is already my favorite character. I was just reading it fast.
Uh-huh.
Anyways, and it's powered by Merlin engines. ASA traditionally has dipped into mythology for names. Projects Mercury and Apollo, and the Saturn V moon rocket. Space shuttles were named after seafaring ships of yore. Columbia, Challenger, Discovery, Atlantis, and Endeavour. Shuttle prototype Enterprise was the exception, named after the Star Trek starship at fans' request. That's one thing I've always liked that the space programs do. They take their spaceships and all that kind of stuff, and they put a little bit of that that nerdy touch to it and give it all these cool names from shows and comics and all that.
Right.
The Starship Enterprise from Star Trek was actually named after a U.S. naval ship in World War II.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Along with its other ship, the Yorktown, which in the new movie, if you've seen it, was one of the big space station in the movie. So it's really cool. I liked how Star Trek takes stuff from our naval history, which I think was pretty awesome. But United Launch Alliance also favors mythology with its longtime Atlas rocket and even bigger and still in development, Vulcan. Another one for the Star Trekkies. There are also constellations for inspiration. Orion, the Hunter, is the spacecraft in which NASA plans to send astronauts beyond low Earth orbit, most notably Mars. Cygnus, the Swan, is orbital ATK's capsule for the space station shipments. Gemini, the Twins, was NASA's two-man per capsule program that bridged Mercury and Apollo. Optimistically, according to Musk, Heart of Gold could blast off from Florida in late 2024 and arrive at the Red Planet in 2025. A Mars launching window is available only every 26 months. Musk stressed on Tuesday that it is an inspiration and within the realm of possibility, but a lot of things need to go right. He claims he knows better than anyone things don't always go right when it comes to rocketry. SpaceX's 9 Falcon rockets are grounded for the second time in a year, this time by a massive fireball during pre-launch during testing pad September 1. I don't know if you heard about that. I remember hearing
Not at
about it.
all.
It was on Facebook and everything. It was showing a little clip, and you would see saw the rocket there on the pad, and literally it was about to take off, and then the thing just exploded from the bottom up. I don't remember if anyone was hurt. I'm not sure if anyone was on the rocket, if it was just I'd have to look back into it. But this was just a small thing on a long road, Musk told reporters after his address. There will probably be other failures in the future. Musk anticipates the risk will be greatest, in fact, for the pioneers aboard Heart of Gold. Obviously. I remember last week I was talking about how, if warp travel and teleportation and, warp speed and all that stuff, how I would be absolutely terrified to be the first person to test that. You remember that, Aaron, right?
Yep.
And really, it goes the same with being the first people to colonize a new planet. It would be absolutely just terrifying. Yeah, and I was even reading somewhere recently that it's like, NASA urges, possible people or possible colonists, people who are interested in such a program, that the first people who are going to, step foot or colonize Mars, the first prerequisite for the program is that you have to be prepared to die in case things don't go well, which is always a possibility. So, I mean, when it comes to space travel and stuff like that, obviously it could be one great step for man, but it could also be one great big step right into death. So that's the scary thing about it. But you know what? If it goes well, your name will forever go down in history as the first person to do it. Personally, I wouldn't want to do that because, like I said, it would be absolutely horribly terrifying. But I mean, what do you think, Aaron?
I do not have an opinion.
I mean, what would you fair enough. But I mean, I would not want to be the first person to step foot on Mars. Yeah, because I'd have no idea what to expect. I mean, I'd have an idea of what to expect, but if one thing went wrong,
if you were, you could come up with some cool phrase as you're stepping out,
just like Neil Armstrong.
Just like Neil Armstrong, and then everybody will know Mark Wilson, just like they do Neil Armstrong.
I would be like,
behold. You'd be in the history books.
I'd be like, behold, I am the first Martian. That's something I would probably say. Or, haha, I was first.
See, but the funny part about it is, Neil Armstrong, when he went out, he didn't even plan out what he was gonna say. That was just kind of something that kind of just came out of his mouth as he was, stepping onto the moon.
That's true.
Because it was just that's where his mind was at, and so
he was in the moment.
He was, and that moment.
You better be.
Was one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind, and that's a phrase that's
stuck with mankind.
It stuck with everybody. I mean, when I was a kid, I knew that phrase.
Exactly. It's like anytime you heard a leap for mankind, you knew that it was about the moon landing.
Right.
And then it just makes me laugh because I think about these conspiracies saying that the moon landing was staged. Have you heard that conspiracy?
No.
Yeah, there's some people who claim the moon landing was staged. I don't really know if I believe that. I really, really hope it's not. But, it just makes you think, here it is, we got, the flag on them, or supposedly have the flag on the moon and all that. And I read somewhere, too, that it's, with how much radiation the moon takes in from the sun, that it would, take away the color. The radiation would turn the flag white, which was I kind of thought was funny. Which actually reminds me of another thing, too. I remember they're reading about this one island. It's, out in the middle of the ocean, and I'm trying to remember which 2 countries it is. I think it's Canada and Switzerland or something. It's an island. It's between these 2 generally peaceful countries, and every time somebody goes there, they'll leave a bottle of their scotch or whiskey or something like that, and the other country would leave something there, and they every time they would go there, they would get rid of the other country's stuff and put one of their bottles of their alcohol there, and it's just like a funny little, this is mine now kind of deal. But anyways,
Right.
I'd have to look it up, but it's just like a funny little thing that I saw one time. But so I mean, really, when it comes to the space stuff, I'm really excited to see how it goes. I mean, when I read that they could be launching a colonization team as early as 2024. I mean, that's really cool to me. I mean, like I was thinking that we wouldn't be launching anyone towards another planet until until we're old, you know? I mean, not
How
that long.
old is old, Mark?
Oh, I'm not going to get into that because everyone's got a different opinion of it. I mean,
Yes.
there's people who are my age who think they're old, and then there's people who laugh at those people because they think they're old, and there's people who laugh at those people because they think they're old. You know, everyone's
And
old.
then there's the people that are older than dirt.
And then there's the people who are older than dirt. Now, how old is older than dirt?
That is a loaded question. Anyway, no. One thing that I figured out, and I claim to be old all the time because my body aches, but I am in my youth. I'm in the prime of my life. But I have met some very, very, very smart and very, very, very awesome older gentlemen.
Oh, thanks, Aaron.
I was not referring to you. And a lot of them, it's really cool because some of the experiences they've had, like, it's awesome. You just have a good conversation with them, and it's great. Anyway, no, I honestly think, kind of going off topic just a little bit, I honestly think the older you get, the more wise you get.
Well, that's a given.
But then I feel
Comes
like
with experience.
I feel like some people get that in their head too much and they stop
Yeah, you gotta
because
realize.
they try to compare it to what they did when they were kids. You know how many times I heard my grandma say, "Oh, I know, I did it all when I was a kid." Now some of it, yeah, was true, but other things is like, no, you like
First of all, it's
it's a
impossible
little
because
bit different now.
Yes, exactly. It is different now. I mean, there's things that we've experienced that people 60 years ago never would have dreamed of. I mean, if you were to ask somebody in like 1920 that we'd be walking around with an electronic database of all knowledge that is mankind, and we use it to look up pictures of cats. How do you think a person from the 1920s would react from that?
They would be dumbfounded.
They would be.
They would be.
They would be like,
what is this magical box?
And it's like, and then realizing that we use it for such simple, ridiculous tasks, and
See, but if you look from their perspective, how dumb would it look? Like half the things that we watch, how dumb is it?
that is very true.
And then getting into it, how like it's bad that kids these days, and I include
Here
myself
we
when I
go,
say that.
kids these days
No,
speech.
I include myself when I say that. But they don't care about school or homework
I do.
or learning. They care about cats and cat videos. But think about it.
You know what though? It's possible.
What do they
to care
remember?
about both.
They could remember every cat video they ever watch and forget what they learned, what they had for lunch. How sad is that?
Yeah, I mean that is pretty
And
sad.
cat videos, as funny as they are not nearly as important as what you had for lunch.
Speaking of which, I have some cat videos I should show you. I'm just kidding. But I mean, yeah, for real though. I mean, there's so many people who are, I've heard our instructors mention it multiple times in our programs too. It's like here it is with the tuition that we pay. I mean, we're just paying like $160 to $180 per class, and then we have people who sit there and
Well, no, that was for that was the tuition fee, wasn't it?
something like that. And they're sitting there, and it's like, if you divvy up, how the money's distributed, we're paying like somewhere between $100 and $200 per class. And
then you have people that are screwing around.
Yeah, you got people who are playing on their phones, or I know we're all guilty of this. I'm not saying I'm innocent, but I mean, you gotta think it's like,
Yeah,
here,
Mr. DS.
hey, you know what? I mean, let's
what?
face it though, and like some of the days we have in class now, there's really not much to do because everyone's got different jobs.
You know what's funny though? How many people have dropped out since we started.
We've probably lost at least 8 or 9. What do you think?
I would say about that.
And it's crazy. Some of the people I never would have expected to lose either.
No.
But I mean, sometimes stuff just life happens and catches you off guard, throws you a curveball, and you don't expect it, and it hits you in the knee.
It certainly does.
But as I've said like 3 times in the past 2 days, I've seen people with less come back from worse.
Yep.
So we'll see. I think at this point we're probably past the point where anybody's gonna leave or drop out.
I said that about a month ago.
I would be really shocked and disappointed at anybody who quit now, because we're literally in like we got like what, 2 weeks?
Yes.
2 or 3?
2 weeks.
2 weeks left until we're out. Is that mind blowing or what?
Yes, it is. It's very mind blowing.
It seems just like yesterday that we started class. I still remember. I see what you're doing there. I still remember, our first day. Nick had us, pick somebody. I think it was the person sitting next to us, and do like an interview and talk and get to know each other.
No. That was our orientation.
Are you sure that was our orientation?
We had the get to know me.
All right.
Well, okay, we did something like that in our orientation. We did like a get to know me thing where he had like 3 or 4 questions. We had to fill it out on a piece of paper, and we had to go around to random people and tell them the answers to our 4.
That was a different activity.
Was it?
It was a different activity. I'm talking about like, it was literally like one person we got to know, and we talked about work, school, what we were doing, all that stuff. And I think you talked to, I don't remember who you talked to, but I talked to Zach for it. And I'm almost positive it was a different activity.
It could have been. I do know that Nick had us get up get up during class, and he had 4 questions. He was like, he asked us a whole bunch of stuff. We wrote it down, and then we had to get up and present ourselves in front of the class.
I think that sounds familiar.
I think that's what you're talking about.
Maybe. I don't know, but
anyway,
still, it feels like it was just yesterday when we started our program.
And we're almost done.
And now we're almost done. It's crazy.
It is.
It's just absolutely insane. But
is it madness?
This is madness.
Which is a good transition into Movie Madness Monday.
It is.
Did you see what I did there?
I did see what you did there.
It was pretty sly, wasn't it?
It was pretty sly. Yep. So, continuing on, Movie Madness Monday.
Movie Madness Monday.
I'm
so
liking this first story
I know
already.
all of you Harry Potter fans have been like, okay, he's been dragging on for about an hour, and he told us to hang tight. What does he want us to talk about? You are going to flip when I tell you the news, which a lot of Harry Potter fans probably know this anyway. Harry Potter is going to be released on October 13th. Every single movie is going to be released into theaters.
That is so cool. I'm really excited to see that.
Me too. Every single movie is going to be released into select theaters. The first 2 movies are going to be digitally remastered for IMAX. So you can see the first 2 movies in IMAX, which I think would be fantastic. I watched the series, and in its entirety, I own all of the movies. I would love to see, because I started off watching, like I saw 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 in the theaters, and then I just wasn't able to get to the theaters for the rest of them.
I saw them all in theaters.
I tried to.
Well, you failed.
But anyway, which I think this is kind of cool. Now, they do have 2 different types of passes. One of them is, just for one of the movies, or you can get an all-access pass. The all-access pass is you're there all day watching every single Harry Potter movie.
Now, that sounds awesome. How much is the all-access pass?
I couldn't find it. They said it was available, but I couldn't find it. I could only find the single movie passes.
That would be, that would be a long haul. I mean, I'm telling you, man,
Hey, I'm in it for the long haul, let me tell you what.
That would be really cool, but, man, that would take some preparation, man, let me tell you.
Let me tell you what, that would be a lot of slushy popcorn.
I'd be hitting that bar, and I'd probably be bringing myself a little extra, like, to pour in. Like when we get into the theaters or something. I don't know, man. Like having you know how some theaters they have the bars?
Yes.
That would be a must. You know what? Oh, I know they did it with the Ghostbusters movie. AMC did like a special Ghostbusters drink.
Yeah.
They would have to do something like that with the Harry Potter. They would have to come out with like a select drinks menu or something with that.
Anyway, so I think this is cool, especially that they're digitally remastering the first two movies.
Yeah, that's actually really cool. I mean that.
I mean, if I could do anything, I would go and see the first two movies in IMAX.
Definitely, that'd be really cool.
Because I saw them in theaters and it was great, but how much better would it be in IMAX? I mean, IMAX is like you're there. The screens are huge. You know,
It's a totally different experience.
I was gonna say it's just shy of them spraying you with water. That's how real it is.
Yeah, pretty much.
Which there are actually 4D theaters where they will actually spray you with water. Your seat moves. So like if you're in a car,
Really?
the seat will move like you're in the car with the movie.
Oh, you know, there's another.
And they've got sensors that'll spray you with water if you get if you hit a puddle or something, or if it's raining, or
That's cool. I didn't know about that. I knew they were doing something along those lines. It was
it's called 4D.
yeah, I was hearing about another one too. I think they were called the V Box or something. D Box. Do you remember hearing about those?
No.
Yeah, it's like maximum effect, like you know, with the realism of like a fighter jet, something along those lines. And it's really cool. I think I did it. I went to go do that when the new Star Wars came out, and it was really cool. It was really fun, and it made the movie so much more worth it. It really did. But you know, just seeing like the kind of technology they're putting into just going to see a movie these days
Yeah.
is really really cool, and I'm really excited to see Harry Potter again. I'm gonna try and go see that. You said it's only select theaters.
It's only select theaters. There's only like one or two in Michigan.
There's only. I doubt that. I'm sure there's more than one or two in Michigan.
I looked and there's like one or two in Michigan.
Well, that's
There's
because
only
the other
one
theaters.
where we're willing to drive. Because the one that I found was in Holly, Michigan.
Where is that?
You basically pass it every time you come to my house from school.
Oh, so it's literally like right between here and Specs.
Yes.
Oh, that's
Yes.
not too bad at
Yes,
all.
it is.
That is not too. That would be a fun date. That would be like a fun double date.
Yep. Yes, it would. Except April doesn't like Harry Potter.
What is Aaron?
I know. I got a Michigan State fan and a non-Harry Potter lover.
What is?
Speaking of Michigan State, by the way, I just have to rub it in. What a horrible game. Horrible game. It was so funny it was horrible.
I was not watching, but I heard about how horrible it was.
It was so horrible it was funny. Anyway, and Michigan won. Go Blue. But anyway.
But yeah. So either way, though, this Harry Potter, that's so cool. What was your favorite Harry Potter, Aaron? Did you You said you only saw so many of them in theaters? Does that mean you didn't
I've
see the
seen
other
them
ones?
all. I
You've
own
seen
them all.
You just haven't seen them all in theaters.
Right.
Okay. So which one would you say your favorite is?
I think it changed because originally it was Prisoner of Azkaban,
Really?
and then it became I really love Sirius Black.
Sirius Black is really cool. He's probably one of my favorite characters in the series.
And what was the oh crap, what was the animal that was in that movie? I'm trying to think of its movie. It was like a duck, or it had like a beak, and it was like a bird and a horse. It wasn't a phoenix. I didn't think so.
Oh, you're thinking of the hippogriff. Yeah, Buckbeak.
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 I love Buckbeak.
Buckbeak was
Buckbeak
good.
is awesome.
He's a cool. I think my favorite Harry Potter movie was definitely Goblet of Fire.
That was my second one. So originally it was Prisoner of Azkaban, and then I added on to that Goblet of Fire because Goblet of Fire was fantastic.
It absolutely was. I think one of the things I liked most about it was because it had dragons in it.
See, the problem for me though are the last two movies, because they were split into two, were kind of boring.
Yeah, but they kind of had to because there was so much story.
They were intense, don't get me wrong, but I feel like I feel like the best ones were Goblet of Fire and Prisoner of Azkaban.
I'll admit it was a little harder to pay attention, like as the movies, like once you got to like 6 and 7, like they were still amazing movies.
It got more complicated.
It did.
Order of the Phoenix was kind of cool.
I only remembered a little bit of like 6 and then 7. I really did.
I do love how they ended the series though. The ending for the series was pretty sweet.
The ending was very good. I will give them that. But I think like I loved about Goblet of Fire was just all the action. Like I liked how like the movie opened up and it's like they're going to the the Quidditch World Cup, which was probably one of my favorite scenes in the entire series because
Right.
I absolutely love Quidditch. I really do. I think that should be like made like an Olympic sport,
Do you remember?
even if brooms can't fly.
Do you remember the little games that they used to have? It was like 20 questions. It was a little circular thing, and it would literally ask you a question. And it had a yes and a no button and a maybe.
I think so.
Okay. Here's something really cool. I had the original one, the purple one,
Mhm.
but I also had a Harry Potter edition.
Nice.
It was gold. It had a little stand and it had wings, so it was a little golden snitch.
That is so cool, dude.
But I lost one of the wings.
Oh, what happened to it?
I don't know. It just kind of
It just kind of
between moves it lost because it was flat and kind of almost clear.
yeah.
So I lost it.
Aw. Well, either way, still that's really cool though. Um. Oh, what was I gonna say? And you know what? Another thing I liked about Goblet of Fire so much was like the challenges in it. Like what was the first one? The Dragon Challenge, where they had to get something from the dragon. It was a golden egg. They had to get the golden egg from the dragon. Yes.
Yes, which they had to listen to underwater as
Mhm.
the clue
Yes,
for
it
the
was.
next challenge.
The Dragon Challenge was easily my apart from the Quidditch World Cup.
I don't know. I
The
thought
drag
the I
the
thought the
dragon
last
the dragon was my favorite. I loved him like flying around with the dragon and all that. That was
See,
really
but the
sweet.
whole movie was nonstop go 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 go
That's
go
what I
go
loved
go.
about it. That's absolutely what I loved the
But
most
the
about
cool
it.
part about it is there was always just another curveball. Like originally, I think one of my favorite effects was the actual Goblet of Fire itself when they were throwing names into it
Mhm.
and all that. And Harry Potter wasn't old enough yet to participate, but yet his name got thrown or got sent out of the cup.
Mhm.
And
Yes.
and it was kind of cool how it worked out. How they're like once he's in the cup, he's in the competition. And he's like, there's no way to disqualify him.
Mhm.
And I loved how there were certain things that were magic that were like that, where it's like, there's no undo. He's like, I don't control, you know,
It's like it
what
happened.
happens.
It happened. He's in the game.
Well,
No take back. No take backsies.
and Harry was very adamant to let Dumbledore know that he didn't put his name in.
Exactly, because he didn't. Who ended up? Oh, it was that one guy who's.
Now, here's my favorite part. What you probably don't realize is David Tennant, who played the 10th Doctor,
Yes.
was in Goblet of Fire.
Yeah, you know what? I could see why that, like, to a Hoovy and the Goblet of Fire might be one of your favorite Harry Potters because of that.
See, but I didn't realize that. It had been my favorite, and I didn't realize that
Mhm.
because I wasn't a Whovian yet.
Right. I'm still not a Hoovian yet, but I plan to at some point.
By the way, I finished the Justice League the animated series.
Yeah.
I'm pissed off about the way it ends.
Oh, don't tell me. Well, aren't you gonna watch Unlimited?
Yes,
Well, there you go. That's a continuation of it, isn't
I
it?
know, but it's still pissed. Anyway,
That's how I was about Young Justice. They leave it and it's
so anyway,
yeah.
so why don't we move on? So this next one, okay, you Harry Potter fans, you got yours. Now it's time for the Halloween Town fans. Told you to
Oh,
stick
yep.
around too.
Here we go.
This is really cool. I think my girlfriend might even get a kick out of this because Halloween Town is one of her favorite Halloween movies.
Oh, it's the same story with Jenna. Like, I mean, she is
So
obsessed
Halloween Town,
yeah.
was originally filmed in St. Helens, Oregon, which is where they filmed. That's the town that they filmed it in, with the big pumpkin and all that. This town, I don't know if they do it every year.
I think I heard about this. I'm pretty sure they do.
But this year, they are bringing back Halloween Town. Now I'm talking about like the archway that says Halloween Town into the town, the pumpkin in the middle, the whole 9 yards.
Everything.
Everything. And it is it is their Halloween festival. They have a festival every year for Halloween for the whole month of October.
Very
They have
nice.
people who dress up, and it's really cool. Now the coolest part about this
Is it really cool?
It is Kimberly J. Brown, who played the original Marnie Piper in the first, I think it was 3 movies.
Mhm.
Um, and I think this happened last weekend.
Yeah.
But she came to the town to kick off the ceremony and light up the pumpkin.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it's really awesome.
I love it when the stars like they get involved.
Yes, yes. I was a little bit sad that she wasn't in the very last movie.
It's been so long since I've seen him. I hardly remember it. You
Well,
know,
I remember when that one came out.
I
That one
recall
came out.
I recall it was not as good because it didn't have her.
No, it was still good, but wasn't nearly as good. Anyway, no, I thought this was cool because it's just a small town that's 30 miles north of Portland, Oregon. And I mean, I'm kind of jealous. I wish I could get to Oregon to see this because it would be sweet.
Yeah, let me tell you.
But now that I know that they do it every year,
maybe you could put it on your bucket list.
I'll put it on my bucket list.
But I'm don't quote me on that though. I'm pretty sure they do it every year.
I'm quoting you on that.
Why you do this to me?
Because I do.
Right. But either way, like I mean, I'm pretty sure I heard that they do it every year. I mean, I could be wrong, but I've heard of it before, and it's a really cool thing. You know, you know, if my town was really into Halloween, then why not do a huge festival on it? You know?
Right.
Just like Frankenmuth, like their thing is Christmas. You know, they got the whole Christmas tree.
Bronner's
store.
is fantastic.
Bronner's is fantastic. They got all those Christmas ornaments.
Every 365 days a year.
Yep. We used to go there every year just for Bronner's.
I go there every year because in November I get my free birthday dinner, and I get a Christmas ornament.
Well, if your birthday is in November, what, you get a free dinner?
No, if you sign up for the rewards club, you get a free birthday dinner.
That's nice. And your birthday's in November, so it adds up real nice.
Yes, it is, and it's for the month of your birthday.
That's really cool. So wait, is it like you get to do like one free dinner, or you get free dinner for that month of your birthday?
You get one free dinner.
You get one free dinner.
But you can use it throughout the entire month. So like, okay, starting November 1st, all the way to my birthday, you can start, you know, you can have this dinner.
Right.
But after November 30th, so like December 1st,
you have to redeem it in the month of your birthday.
Right. You have to redeem it in the month of your birthday.
That's still really cool, though.
It is. And it's really cool because my grandma's birthday is in November. So usually her and I will go and...
You'll double down.
Well, we just basically share our meal with whoever's with us.
Oh, so you guys get like just like a whole crap ton of food.
Well, because we get the turkey dinner, which has gravy and like the whole shebang.
Oh man, don't start talking about gravy.
And buttered noodles.
And buttered. Oh my God, you're gonna make me get hungry. I love Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is probably my favorite holiday.
Mine is Halloween.
Halloween's really great too, and
Halloween
I love Christmas.
Is my favorite holiday.
Even though summer is my favorite time of year, I love October and November and December just because of Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas. They're great.
They are.
They are so great. I love the
They're
food.
the most wonderful times of the year. Get it?
Yeah,
Get it?
yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I love being able to dress up. I love
See,
being
I've already
able
been listening to
to
Halloween
pig out.
music.
I love being able to get people gifts and get gifts and all that. So I know that's not what it's about. I know
I was
it's
gonna
about.
say I'm kind of excited for this year, for Christmas because my entire family is gonna be in one state.
For like the first time in a long time.
It has been a long time since they've been in one all together, completely 100%.
It's gonna be madness.
It is gonna be madness. It is. Which again brings us back to Movie Madness Monday. No, anyway, so Halloween Town is... I just think this is cool, how it's a town that kind of embraced the movie that was filmed there. You know, there's a lot of people that are like, oh, why'd they have to film it here, you know. But this town embraces it, has a Halloween festival every year. It's actually kind of cool because where Andy Griffith was born, as you know, he did the Andy Griffith Show.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Mayberry is an actual town.
Yeah, I know.
It's where he grew up.
Mm-hmm.
And That's actually like the footage whenever it showed the town, it was showing the actual town of Mayberry.
Oh, that's
Now
cool.
when you go inside, it doesn't look like it did because those were movie sets.
Right.
But it's still pretty cool. But they've got like a cop car that was used in the show. They've
Mhm.
got so they're really embracing the fact that they had a celebrity from their town, and they found a way to do that and make the town some money, but be able to celebrate his life.
Right. You know, we have a lot of blah, 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 I can't talk.
Celebrities.
We have a lot of celebrities that came right here from Michigan, like Tim Allen.
He did not come from Michigan. He came from Colorado, but he lived in Michigan for most of his life.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, I thought he came from Michigan.
I thought we looked this up the other day.
I don't know. I know. I'm not excited about this one as much, but Taylor Lautner's from Michigan. I heard.
Uh, Kid Rock's from Michigan.
Kid Rock's from Michigan.
Uncle Cracker.
Eminem obviously is
Yes.
from Michigan.
Yes.
I mean, his kind of thing. You know, it's his thing. What else? We have more. There are a ton of Madonna. Madonna's from Michigan.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
Jenna Kramer.
My aunt went to high school with Madonna. She was in the same graduating class.
Jenna Kramer is from Michigan. She's a country singer.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, but so yeah, we got a lot of celebrities right here in Michigan. I'm sure there's more too. I'm trying. There's probably lists and lists and lists of celebrities that are from Michigan that you could probably look up online, and it really is crazy. That's surprising. I really thought Tim Allen was from Michigan. I mean, I know he does like all these Christmas movies and stuff like that. And I mean, you know what though? Speaking of holidays, Christmas is. I remember reading somewhere it's like so many Mondays away or Fridays away, like people counting down stuff, ridiculous stuff like that. But I have to say some of my favorite Christmas movies are the Santa Claus movies. I'm sure you've seen the Santa Claus movies, right?
Yes.
Who
hasn't?
You really have to live under a rock if you haven't seen the Santa Claus movies. Those are really really great Christmas movies. I'm actually excited for the Christmas season, so I could actually start watching that stuff again. Or the other best Christmas movie ever, which doesn't even have to be Christmas for you to watch, is Elf with Will Ferrell, which is definitely the best Christmas movie in my opinion.
Hold up. Tim Allen was born in Denver, Colorado. When he was young, his family moved to Birmingham, Michigan, which is where he attended high school. His favorite subject was shop. And after high school, he attended Western Michigan University.
Well, that explains home
and graduated with a degree in television production in 1975. Television production.
That's cool. So yeah, he wasn't born in Michigan, but he was raised in Michigan.
And he does.
He may as well be a Michigander.
Right. Mm-hmm. Well, he is. He was raised in Michigan. He wasn't born, but he was raised in Michigan. And it's kind of funny because Home Improvement took place in Michigan, and now Last Man Standing takes place in Colorado.
Oh, going back to his roots.
He is.
Yeah, I've always I actually heard somewhere that Tim Allen, as great and as amazing of an actor as he is, he's not a very nice person.
Who, Tim Allen?
Yeah.
I've heard he's really nice.
I don't know. I've heard from a few places or sources that he's not, but I mean I could be wrong, but I just heard that he's not. But I'm trying to think what other we have more celebrities that were born in Michigan too.
Christy Brinkley was born in Monroe, Michigan.
Oh yeah?
Yep. Olivia Brown was born in Livonia. Tim Burton.
Burton?
No, Tony Burton. My bad.
Well, I was about to say
Tony Burton, which is an actor. He did the Rocky films. He was born in Flint.
He did the Rocky films.
Yep.
Nice.
Though,
I mean, we have a lot of stuff in Michigan, anyways. I mean,
Paul Feig, who was known as Mr. Poole on Sabrina the Teenage Witch, he was born in Royal Oak.
Right here in Royal Oak.
Well, this isn't Royal Oak. This is Flint,
Well,
but still.
Royal Oak is not far from us. You literally pretty much, well, not to get here, but I mean, on my way home from my house, for where I live, I pretty much drive almost through Royal Oak every day on my way
Taylor
home from school.
Lautner was born in Grand Rapids.
See, I knew that. Well, I knew he was born in Michigan.
Who else do we got here?
There's
Trying to pick out some of the more famous ones, because there's a lot. There's a huge list. I'm only like S to Z right now.
Oh, you actually looked at the list.
I did.
Yeah, I know there's a lot.
Ruth Taylor from Grand Rapids,
Ruth Taylor, who's she?
actress.
Actress? Oh, what movies does she play in?
I don't know. It doesn't say.
Oh my god. Okay. Well,
Anyway,
way.
there are a lot of famous people that were born in Michigan.
How do we get on the topic of Michigan?
James Earl Jones.
James Earl Jones?
James Earl Jones.
Oh, sweet. Darth Vader
Oh, no, he was born in Mississippi. But he lives in he was raised from the age of 5 in Norman Township, Michigan.
Norman Township. I've never even heard of Norman
So
Township.
he was raised in Michigan.
Like Tim Allen.
Like Tim Allen.
Sweet. Well,
See, it's cool because Tim Allen does all the Pure Michigan commercials.
He does?
He does.
Wow, I didn't even realize that. You know what? I'm going to have to look that up now.
Just listen to him. You can hear it.
I never even really realized it, though.
Am I just really good with voices or something?
I think you are the one going into radio.
I was gonna say, but I can listen to a song and almost tell you who's singing.
Really?
Yes, without knowing. Most of the time it's because I know the song, but
Most times.
sometimes it's even if I don't know the song, I could tell you, because for some reason certain voices stick out to me.
Right, right. Well, you know what? I think there's a couple times that we've been listening to music and you're like, oh yeah, this is da, 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 da. I'm like, how'd you know that? Like I know this artist and I didn't even know that. I got my friend Marty, who I work with. He's got this big old Bluetooth speaker that I actually got myself one of. It's still shipping.
Did you get it yet?
I did not, but I'll show it to you when I do.
Okay.
It was that one I ordered in class that one day.
I know which one you're talking about.
Mhm.
That's why I asked if you got it.
But he's like playing a whole bunch of like music, like dubstep and stuff like that.
I love dubstep.
Dubstep's really.
I love dubstep.
You don't strike me as a dubstep guy.
Great music.
But he was playing like dubstep, and I'm listening to some of these.
Sandstorm is awesome.
Sandstorm is awesome.
You missed it the other day. You wanted peace and quiet. I sat in a room. I played Sandstorm. I played Dota. I played Bass Hunter.
I like Scary Monsters and Nice Sprites. Skrillex.
I haven't heard that one.
That's Skrillex. It's literally Dubstep 101.
Okay, well I'll listen to that one.
I'll have to show you. Yeah, there's like
I've
10 different versions.
I've heard
now.
a dubstep version of Ozzy Osbourne of Ozzy's Crazy Train.
Ooh, a dubstep
and
version
Iron Man.
Ooh, Iron Man would be a really cool dubstep song remix. You know what? There's so many dubstep remixes that are just so awesome too.
And Moves Like Jagger. I've got a dubstep version of that too.
You had a dubstep version of Moves Like Jagger?
I do.
That's really cool. But anyways, I think we're getting a little off topic though.
We're getting a lot off topic. We're talking about Halloween Town.
And we somehow got onto dubstep.
Anyway.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna say he was playing music on a speaker, and it's like I was recognizing it. It's like, oh, wow, I'm surprised you recognize this. I'm like, yeah, this is so and so. He's like, yeah, but this is a remix. I'm like, well, I still recognize this. So yeah.
See, one of my problems that I have with music is when people make, like Kanye West, I think is who it was, made a remake or used a part of Daft Punk's "Harder, Better, Faster, Stronger."
Oh yeah.
And it was funny because I was listening to it at my old job one day, and this guy's like, I'm like, yeah, I don't like this song because it like he like butchered the original. He's like, this is the original. I said, no, it's not. I said, Daft Punk came out with this. He's like, no, they came out with that after Kanye came out with this. I'm like, no.
Get your facts straight.
Right. And so I actually looked it up and I was right, which I knew I was right. I wasn't even questioning it.
Well, yeah, obviously.
But no, anyway. So back to Halloween Town. So
yeah, it's quite off topic indeed.
Anyway, I don't know. I thought this was pretty cool. I would love to go and see it one day and celebrate Halloween there. I think it'd be great to do.
That would be really cool to go see. Like Halloween Town for the real. That would be super exciting.
I'd
Like,
be geeking out all the way.
oh man, I couldn't even imagine how much Jenna would be geeking out. Like Halloween is like her thing. She loves. I'm talking loves. Like love, 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 love,
I have a
loves.
box of bones sitting over there in a box.
Yes, I know. What was his name? Billy the
It's
skeleton.
Billy. It's Billy. Billy the
Mhm.
skeleton.
You see, Jenna, she is all about Nightmare Before Christmas. You've seen it, right?
Who hasn't
Jack
seen it?
Skellington.
Who
Yeah,
hasn't seen it?
True, but like
That is on my Halloween Pandora playlist.
She is all about Nightmare Before Christmas, and I can't blame her. It's pretty awesome.
An awesome movie.
It is, and you got legions of fans, and it's rightfully so because it's really really good. But so
I love dressing up for Halloween. I think that's my favorite part.
I think it is too. Most of the time, I'm around Halloween is when they do Youmacon. A lot of times, I'm at Youmacon during Halloween because a lot of time that's when it is. Usually, Youmacon is like the first weekend.
Are you going this year?
I am going this year, except that I missed pre-reg, so it's too late for me to get pre-reg. I'm gonna have to get my pass at the door, unfortunately.
So is that what you're gonna be doing for Halloween?
That's gonna be around Halloween. It's gonna be November. It's gonna be the beginning of November this year.
That's after Halloween.
Yes, I'm not. I'm gonna be in town for Halloween this year, except that there's a good chance I'm probably gonna be actually working on Halloween, which is sad face.
It is sad face.
Very sad face.
Work during the day.
Yeah, but here's the thing though.
And then at night,
I almost always close.
We can go party.
I almost always close, which basically leads to me being at work until at the very least, if it's a Sunday and it's lucky, 10 o'clock. And that's early. That's the earliest I'm ever out of work.
Halloween is. I looked it up. I'm trying to remember.
But I'm sure it's gonna be a slow day too. If we don't get out early on Halloween, if I end up working on Halloween,
actually,
I'm gonna be really upset.
What is Halloween the 30th, right?
Halloween is.
I'm
does
pretty sure.
Does October have 30 days or 31 days?
It might be 31.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it has 31.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Positive?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, it's gonna be the 31st.
Well, then the Michigan State game is the day before.
Let me double check. October 31st. Oh, Halloween this year is on a Monday, which means I'm gonna have it off.
Woo!
Yeah.
Go us.
I am so happy to realize that. That is great.
That means we can party.
That means we can party.
Because we'll be off of school by then.
We will be out of school. Oh my God, we're gonna have the whole day off.
Right.
I ain't picking up Mondays either, man. Like right now, I got Mondays and Wednesdays off. I'm not picking those up. Those are gonna be my days off.
Right.
I'm not even.
Well, hopefully you'll be dropping Carrabba's and picking up a TV job.
I really, really hope so. I want to get out. I mean, I'm not gonna talk crap about my job, but I want out in the worst way. I'm tired of the restaurant industry. I really am.
And for you, it's not just like that restaurant. It's
just the restaurant. It's the restaurant industry in general.
That does taking a lot of getting used to. I worked in it for about 2 years, and that was 2 years too long for me.
Yeah. The restaurant industry has a way of taking its toll on you, and
it eats at your soul.
Yes, my soul is forever nommed on.
Nommed on.
Yes, my soul is severely nommed on from the restaurant industry. But either way, I'm just really happy to be slowly working my way out of the restaurant industry.
Halloween is going to be fantastic.
Yes, I got to figure out what we're gonna do.
We're gonna party hardy.
Yeah, we are gonna party hardy. We're gonna have to get together and figure something out.
I've always wanted to. I have a friend that's a DJ.
Oh yeah.
And he's always wanted to set up his DJ stuff in his yard and invite a whole bunch of people.
Like a party, like a front yard Halloween rave.
Yeah.
Dude, that would be so awesome.
It'd be really cool.
You should try and talk him into doing that.
Try to talk him into doing it?
You should try and talk him into doing it.
We just got to plan it as a problem.
True.
So we'd have to start planning it now.
Mm-hmm. And either way, back to the topic though. Yes, so St. Helens, Oregon is, they're doing their Halloween festival or whatever this year, based off the movie. And that's really cool. I'm really excited to hear about that.
Me too. I'm really excited to see it. Moving on.
Yeah, moving on from Halloween, which, to,
I think, what is the most exciting topic of the night?
I think it's up there.
Super Troopers 2.
I've been hearing about it, and I'm like, they're almost done shooting it.
So
They keep posting on Facebook.
hold up. So how this all started was, for those of you that don't know, Super Troopers was a movie about some state troopers, and they would do
Shenanigans.
yes, they would have shenanigans.
I swear I'm gonna pistol whip the next person who says shenanigans.
Anyway, so what it was is a group of guys who were up to a whole bunch of shenanigans.
Shenanigans.
And what they did is, like one of the most famous things that came out of there was called the cat game.
Meow.
And what it was is it had Jim Gaffigan, okay? And what they did is they pulled, because this was just a movie, so they pulled this guy over, and the bet was that the guy couldn't say meow
Like 10 times.
10
within
times while he pulled this guy over. So while he's talking to this guy, well, the passenger was Jim Gaffigan, which made it that much more funnier. And the funny part about it was so he walked up and he's like, "Yeah, how are we doing today?"
Yeah.
And Jim Gaffigan's like, "What?"
Yeah.
He's like, "I'm doing good." He's like, "Meow, do you know how fast you were going?" And after a while, he's like, "Are you saying meow?" He's like, "Do I look like a cat to you, boy? Do you see me swinging nimbly bimbly from tree to tree?"
Well, do you see me chasing mice?
But he keeps laughing, and he's like, "Stop laughing!"
I know.
Right, meow.
Meanwhile, the other officers, he's like on the other side of the car. It's just like.
Well, the other officer's on the other side of the car. He's standing there with his hands on the hood, counting. And at the end, the funniest part is at the end of this whole shenanigan is
He just walks up to the guy and goes meow.
well, the other cop he's at 9, and he shows 9, so he comes back to the window and goes meow. So that was really, but another thing, which
I have
is
to go home and watch that now at some point.
you don't have to go home. We have it here.
We're watching that.
Anyway, no, so, and then the other funny thing is they had this character named Farva, which nobody
Farva.
liked. He was the dispatcher because of some incident that happened.
I don't want a large farva.
And no, anyway, he's but he freaks out and
Gets
so
himself suspended.
pretty much. And one of the things that he did is he was at this fast food joint, and he's like, "I'd like a liter of cola," and the guy's like,
Liter of cola?
a
Do we
what?
have
He's
that?
like, "A liter of cola." He's like, I don't know if we have liters. He's like, "I just want a liter of cola."
And he's being
and
much
so that-
more not nice about it in the movie.
Yeah, and his partner's like, "Calm down, Farver." He's like, "I don't want to calm down, Farver. I want just a
Yeah.
liter of cola." And so this goes through, and he ends up attacking the guy, and so he gets put back on. But it's also the point where they're at the meeting, and the captain is talking, and they're saying the word shenanigans a lot.
Yes.
And it gets to the point where the captain's like, "I'm gonna pistol whip the next guy that says shenanigans," and they go, and Farva's making coffee at this point. And they're like, "Hey Farva, what's the name of your favorite restaurant with the goofy crap on the walls?"
He's like, "Oh, shenanigans."
He's like, "Oh, shenanigans."
oh.
They're like, "Oh." So it's a really stupid, funny movie.
Oh, it's
But
horror.
it's got a huge following.
It's wonderful.
So much so
that they made a
that-
sequel.
Well, okay, so here's what's up with the sequel. What happened was the original company that let it go.
What was it, Broken Lizard?
No, Broken Lizard are the group of guys who do it. That's the production company.
Ah, okay.
So the actual the actual group of guys that does it is, I think it was like Fox something.
Oh, it was?
Yeah. And so they finally, because they had the rights to Super Troopers. So what they did is they finally agreed to greenlight Super Troopers 2 under one major condition.
What was the condition?
They had to fund it themselves.
Ah.
So what they did is they went to Indiegogo, which is a fundraising page. And
they started fundraising.
well, what they did is they made this cool video of them in their Super Troopers outfits asking for money. And they said, the more money we have, the more
we
you're
can
going
put
to
in the
get
movie.
out of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Which was really cool.
And it worked.
It did. More so. They reached way over their goal.
Really?
Way over their goal in a very short amount of time. So the Indiegogo page worked. But they had incentives too. if you donated so much, like it was at some point it got to like a couple $1,000s. If you donated so much money, you could have dinner with the cast. You could have a meet and greet. There were a whole bunch of different things. The smallest one was like you get a T-shirt. Anyway, so they got their goal. They got green lit for the movie. It's coming out in 2017.
All right.
So there's no synopsis on what it's about. It's only going to be released in select theaters, and then if it makes if it does really well, they'll release it into more theaters. But I would be happy even if it came straight to DVD. I would watch it.
Oh,
I
I
would
think
buy
a lot
it.
of people
I would buy it new.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I would buy it the moment I saw it on the
but
shelves.
it's one of those things where they have a lot of running jokes, and so I hope they keep some of those going.
They gotta.
But
play,
I hope
they gotta
they
play
try.
the now game again.
I hope they try too hard, or they don't try too hard to make it this first movie. That's my only hope that they don't do.
Yeah, I wonder if do they have the entire cast coming back, or are they missing some of their key players or anything?
I'm not sure. I was trying to look it up, and it didn't really tell me who was all still gonna be in it.
Well, either way, I'm sure it's going to be a wonderful movie. I'm really excited to see that. I mean, whether or not it's in theaters or if it goes straight to DVD, I am going. The first chance I get to go see it, I'm going to see it.
Me too.
Because I've been looking forward to a sequel for that movie. Well,
A long time.
since I saw it, really, since I saw it, I've been super excited to see a sequel.
Yeah.
And you said, yeah, I've been seeing it all over Facebook too. It's like they only got like a couple days left for production for it. Like they're in their final weeks of it before they it's just finish it up and then put it in the pocket until they release it.
Yeah. I don't know if the guy who plays the captain is gonna return or not. Oh, yep, Captain O'Hannigan. Brian Cox, he's going to be back.
He's still in it?
He's still in it.
Okay, good, because he was actually the person I was thinking of when I asked that question. I'm like, if any of them aren't returning, I could only see it as being...
Fun fact, did you know he played in the movie Red with Bruce Willis?
Red.
Morgan Freeman.
Is it that movie with all the old guys who were badasses?
Yes, they were the retired CIA operatives.
I didn't see it.
Oh,
but it
great
looked good.
movie.
It looked really good.
Oh, it's fantastic. And he played in it. And he did a really good job. He played I think it was a Russian. He played a Russian.
I see it. I can see that.
He played like a Russian. He was supposed to be like a criminal.
Mm-hmm.
But it's funny because, and they did play age off with it. But he's like, he's like, I haven't killed anyone in years. But he ends up helping out the good guys, which is really funny. So anyway, so Super Troopers 2, I'm completely excited for it. Mm-hmm. And I think it's time to move on. So Mark, you said you were going to talk about Marvel?
Yeah, I've been looking around a little bit, and I'm hearing that they're finishing up, production on a couple movies. Like, for example, Super Troopers was one of the movies that they're finishing up production for.
I love Super Troopers.
Mm-hmm. Another movie, I'm just hearing rumors about this, but I'm hearing that they're wrapping up, putting the finishing touches on Spider-Man: Homecoming, and which is pretty sweet. I'm really excited to see it.
What is that one about?
First of all, it's about the new Spider-Man. Have you seen Captain? Oh, well, oops, my bad. Have you seen Captain America: Civil War?
No.
Oh, why not?
I haven't been to the theater in a while.
Okay. Well, basically, Captain America: Civil War was basically a big fight between Iron Man and Captain America, obviously, and it had all the heroes.
Iron Man won, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Or from what I heard.
No. Well, I'm not gonna spoil it, but you gotta look into it, man. You gotta watch it because it's really, really good. But basically, I haven't looked too much into the plot of it yet, but they are putting the finishing touches on Spider-Man. It's going to be the same actor who was in Captain America: Civil War, and I'm trying to remember. Hang on one second, let me find it. But Yeah, it's gonna have the same kid. And personally, I was really really skeptical at first because the trailers made Spider-Man look horrible at first, but then once you actually saw it in the movie, it was excellent. But basically, here's what the story says. Cameras began rolling on Spider-Man: Homecoming earlier this year, and now the actor playing Peter Parker says filming has come to an end. Tom Holland posted a photo on Instagram Sunday to mark the last day of the web slinger's new movie, and it looks like he and the rest of the cast and the crew could use a hard-earned rest. Our last day on Spider-Man: Homecoming, and this is how we are feeling, but we got this. He captioned his shot of a sleepy-looking group, and it shows a picture of everyone sleeping on the plane. But production on the film took place in Atlanta and recently relocated to New York City, where Holland posted a photo from the set of him in the costume. First night in Queens, and it feels like home already, he said of his character's hometown. Spider-Man: Homecoming stars Holland as Parker, with Robert Downey Jr. and Marissa Tomei reprising her MCU roles as Iron Man and Aunt May. And the web slinger will be facing off against the villainous Vulture, who is believed to be played by Michael Keaton.
I love Michael Keaton.
Also, John Watts, Cop Car, is directing, and a large cast also includes Zendaya, Tony Rivoli, Martin Starr, Donald Glover, Hannibal Buress, and more.
Is it Danny Glover?
No, it says Donald Glover.
Oh.
But the film swings into theaters July 7th. I personally am really excited for this because I mean, as skeptical as I was for Spider-Man in Civil War, he wildly surpassed my expectations. If I had to say it, I think I might have to say that he's probably one of my favorite Spider-Man so far. Because in the comics and shows, Spider-Man he's like a 14-year-old kid, and that's what he is in Civil War. While here, you got the Amazing Spider-Man, and the other one, the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, where he's like 21 or something like that, or 20. I mean, Spider-Man is literally supposed to be like a teenager. But one of the concepts that I've heard them toying around with for Spider-Man was Miles Morales. Have you ever heard of him?
I have.
He's kind of like one of like Peter Parker's friends, and through some turn of events, he ends up being like the new Spider-Man. He becomes this Spider-Man with a black and orange suit, which when I first saw the art for it, I was blown away. I totally thought it was awesome. I mean, a black and orange Spider-Man. It looks even cooler than it sounds. And with how well they did this new Spider-Man in the Civil War, I can only imagine how they're gonna do with the Miles Morales Spider-Man.
I think there's a lot of people that didn't give the first Spider-Man series a lot of credit.
The Tobey Maguire one?
Yes.
I personally liked it.
Me too.
And you know, even though
I mean, some of the effects were awesome. I mean, yes, 3 had a lot going on. That could have been 3 different movies, or at least 2 different movies. The black stuff on the suit was a good touch. It looked sweet.
Honestly, Spider-Man 3 caught the most hate out of like all the Spider-Man movies, and I personally thought it was my favorite. I really liked it.
It wasn't my favorite. I think
liked
2 was my favorite.
I liked Sandman in it. I liked how there was finally the confrontation between his friend Harry and him. I thought Venom was awesome. Venom is my favorite Spider-Man villain, easily.
I like Doc Ock.
Doc Ock is really cool too.
I love 2. I actually saw it at the premiere.
Really?
At the it's now Rave Cinema, but I think it was I think it was Showcase at the time. Anyway, we'd gotten free tickets, my brother and sisters and I, and we actually won it on a radio station.
Really?
Yeah, we won them on a radio station. They were giving away free tickets for a midnight movie premiere, and I went and saw it, and I loved the movie from the first time I saw it. I thought Doc Ock, especially how they portray him in that movie, because it kind of really tells you how he became evil.
Right, yeah, because he started off as a good guy. He was like a scientist.
Yeah, he was a scientist, and the arms were so he could do his experiment. Because he had one experiment he was working on, and he couldn't physically touch it.
Right, because he was literally working on like a mini sun.
Pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
And the arms could maintain it. Well, there was a chip in the back of his, connected to the arms.
And it got short-circuited.
That separated, that made it so that he was in control of the arms, not the arms in control of him.
Mhm.
and that broke, and that's when he became evil. So I thought it was a really cool storyline. It was really sweet when you could see all the pins going into his spine.
Oh, that was bone chilling for me. Like, oh, that part was. Well, for me, at the age I was at the time, it seemed to be a bit much. I've always been a fairly squeamish person, so it's like when I saw that, I just like kind of cringed away. It was
I was gonna say I've worked in a morgue before, so I really not that squeamish about that kind of stuff.
not me. No, 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 thank you. But yeah. So it's like I think I said it's November 7th. The Spider-Man movie's gonna come out. Or I think it was November 7th. Oh, man, I already forgot. But either way, I'm really looking forward to that. Along with the new one coming out with oh, what's his name? The guy who plays Sherlock. The new Doctor Strange movie. I'm trying to remember his name.
It looks like a really good movie. Doctor Strange looks awesome.
Yes, it does. It looks absolutely amazing. I haven't seen much in way of trailers. I know,
I
but
saw one trailer.
and it had like a lot of optical illusion stuff in it,
Yes.
and it looks pretty trippy.
Yes.
But I'm really looking forward to that one. Honestly, I was unfamiliar with Doctor Strange up until like I saw the trailers for this movie. I saw little tidbits of like this is going to be one of the movies in the franchise, but I didn't know much about them, and I still don't. But I'm kind of still fresh in the superhero scene. I didn't start getting into them until a few years ago.
Right.
So I mean, I'm really looking forward to finding out more about Doctor Strange. But let's see what else. What else? I know another thing they're talking about is I'm hearing that they're going to be doing a solo movie for Batman
Yes.
with the Ben Affleck one. And
We've already covered that.
yeah, and I'm really excited for that. Like I said, I'm still fresh in the movie. I mean, I know who Batman is, obviously, but I like really, I'm going heavy into heroes. I really love it. I've been watching a lot of Justice League, and
Hate the ending of the animated series.
well, don't spoil it.
Although I started watching Static Shock the other day.
Oh yeah,
I did. That
is it as good as you remember?
it is better than I remember.
Is it?
The only problem is the graphics.
Yeah, that's the thing that stinks when you go back and watch an old show, especially if you find it on like a website. There's sometimes like the quality might not be as good.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a couple shows that I watch on that Watch Cartoon Online I told you about, and sometimes the shows come up and like it's got a little bit of fuzz to it.
Right.
Like I've been watching that one show, Megas XLR, which was an old cartoon show about a mech, and like every episode I find it's got a little bit of fuzz to it, but even then it's still a really funny show. I mean, there's this one episode with this bad robot guy, and his name is Regis. Well, it's literally like a bad program, and it's like solar.
Did it go rogue?
Kinda, and it's solar powered, and it just basically you beat it up, and it just comes back more powerful. And it's really funny because he crashes like through the roof of this building, and he's like, "I am Regis. Do not panic. You will all be destroyed." Which is
It's
great.
kind of like Groot. That
Kinda.
kind of reminds me of Groot because I love he is my favorite character from Guardians of the Galaxy, and it just at one point like all he says throughout the whole movie is I am Groot,
Yeah.
and then like you've got the one scene where he's like I am Groot really loud, and you
Yeah.
actually figure out how awesome he is.
Yeah, where he just like extends his arm and it goes through all those guys. He whips from that was great.
It was great, and it's funny because I loved him from the beginning because all he said was I am Groot.
Or when they're in the prison and they're like, "Well, we need this, this, and this, but we want to get this part last." Right as he breaks it off the wall and sets off the alarm. You don't remember that, do you?
No, I do remember that very, very, very vividly. It was one of my favorite parts. And then he just looks at him and goes, I am Groot.
I am Groot.
I am Groot.
It's like, yeah, we got that.
But it's kind of like it. But what I love about it is it's kind of like Pikachu. Like they know what he's saying, but to us, all he's saying is I am Groot. But he says it with different expressions.
Speaking of Pokemon,
He'll go, I am Groot.
there's it's not exactly new anymore, but
Pokemon Go.
what?
Pokemon Go.
No, not Pokemon Go. I'm talking about Pokemon Origins. It's on Hulu. Do you have Hulu?
I don't have Hulu.
Oh, well, you can probably look it up online too. But it's basically what I believe Pokemon should have been. It's
Pokemon was awesome.
No, Pokemon is awesome, but Pokemon Origins is awesomer. Well, okay, maybe not awesomer, but still really, really, really cool. It's an interesting take on it. Did you play the games as a kid?
No.
Oh, well, you'd get it more if you played the games as a kid. But
Oh, okay.
basically, it takes a more realistic spin on what Pokemon is, and it's only 4 episodes long. So literally, it's like if you take like maybe like an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours out of your day to watch it, you can get the whole story, and it's great. It really is. But basically, the Pokemon in the show, they don't even say their names. It's like they actually like they make more realistic like animal sounds in it. Like Charizard actually sounds more like a dragon and saying Charizard. You know?
But I love how they say their names.
Okay, then stick to your original Pokemon then.
I will.
But either way, if you get the chance though, Pokemon Origins is a really good one too. I really enjoyed that, and I actually might go back and watch it again at some point.
And he didn't just say Charizard. He said Char.
Yeah,
Charizard.
Charizard, Charizard, Char.
Kind of like Pikachu. He would go Pika. Pika P.
Yeah,
Pikachu.
Pikachu had quite an extensive vocabulary for a Pokemon.
Very much so.
Not as much as Meowth though.
What about Squirtle?
Squirtle was great. You know what? I was watching one episode the other day, where they're on this island with giant mechanical Pokemon, and they didn't know they were mechanical, but they got split up by like a monsoon or whatever. So like Ash and Misty and Brock were on the island,
Right.
and their Pokemon were split up. They were on like the other side of the island, and they
Right.
were all together. So the Pokemon were talking amongst themselves, and there were subtitles. So and literally, so each Pokemon had their own personality. And like you could understand what they were saying. Not like they weren't saying it, but it had subtitles.
Right.
And you could totally see each Pokemon's personality. Like Pikachu was totally like devoted to Ash. Squirtle was honestly kind of morbid.
Morbid?
Squirtle was a little bit morbid.
Why?
Like he was talking about it, it's like, oh well, maybe everyone got eaten. And was it Charmander? I don't know if you remember seeing the episode where Ash got Charmander, but Charmander was thinking they all got abandoned again. And I think Bulbasaur thought they were getting abandoned too. And Bulbasaur is actually really rather like a sarcastic little effer. Like he's funny.
That's good.
But I'll try and remember which episode it was. I think it was literally called the Island of Giant Pokemon. But I'll have to look it up so I can show it to you. But either way, on that note, moving on, I think it's about time I'm gonna pass this back to you.
It is?
We got about 5 minutes left.
We got more than 5 minutes, but okay.
Mhm.
Okay, guys, this is pretty much it for our show today. As always, if you didn't like something or you did like something that we talked about today, let us know. Facebook, Twitter, where I'm on all of them. We now are, and I announced this last week, we now are on iTunes, so you can download our shows off of iTunes, which I think is pretty cool. As much as I don't like Apple, I was excited.
Yeah, because even then, iTunes is a big step.
It is a very big step.
I mean,
So
even if you don't like a lot of the stuff that Apple does, you can't deny
today,
the fact that they're
iTunes,
an
tomorrow,
entity.
iHeartRadio.
There we go. That would be nice to see, or maybe see our podcast pop up on like Pandora. That would be kind of cool.
That'd be really cool.
Mhm.
No, anyway, so if you don't like something we've talked about, if you like something we talked about, let us know. This is your show, so we just pick topics that we like. If you want to pick something that you like, let us know. We'll do research on it. We'll make sure we have our opinions. You may not like them, but we'll have them for you.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan.
I think that's pretty much it. Thanks, Mark, for coming back in.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
I think at this point you're like my permanent co-host.
We're working on it.
So for all of you out there, thank you again. The success of the show is beyond my wildest dreams.
Mhm.
And I just hope it keeps getting better.
Definitely.
So, I think that's it. Until next time, I'm Aaron.
And I'm Mark.
Signing off.